So now our animation is working fine and our movement is syncing across the network, but you might have noticed that when we flip our sprite, it flips our sprite on local instance but not on the network. So on other instance the sprite is not flipping. So this is because we are just flipping it on the local instance. So to flip it and to sync it across the network, we are going to use RPCs. So RPC is a remote procedure call. So let's do the code. So I'm going to start with header and I'm going to say pun RPC, and in here I'm going to create a function, a remote procedure call, or white and flip sprite right. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to copy this, because when we press D we are moving towards right, and when our sprite flip axis falls, the character is going to face towards the right. So I'm going to copy the cut this line of code and put it right here, and similarly copy this and paste it again for the left flip. So I'm going to say left and the flip axis is going to be true, and we are going to call these right here. So in here we are going to call the flip x right, and in here we are going to call the flip sprite left. Now there is a special procedure to execute the remote procedures call, and for that we need a reference to our photon view. So let's open the gameplay scene and drag our player. So from resources, and on our player we have this component called photon view, and this photon view we need to have a reference to of this photon view to execute the remote procedure call, because this photon view will execute the remote procedure call and all the other instance with the same photon view. So here is my player, and on all other screens this player is going to listen for this photon view and change its sprite. So let's go back and actually go at the top and declare a public photon view and call it photon view with the lowercase. And so right here we are going to say photon view dot rpc, and this rpc is going to take two parameters. The first one is the method name. So in the method name we are going to call the flip sprite right. So and the next is going to be the target. So I'm going to say rpc target dot all buffered. So what this target means, it means you can see in the IntelliSense, send the RPC to everyone else and executes it immediately on this client. So all of the clients will listen to this RPC and execute it immediately, and the newly instantiated players, when they join, they will be also they will call this RPC, because we are saying that RPC target dot all buffered. So let's do that and copy the same line of code in here. So just remember that whenever you need to execute the RPC, you need to have the photon view reference of that object, and by using this photon view you will call the RPC function. Now let's add the shooting function. So right here I am going to say private void shot, and we need to play the shooting animation, so we will simply use the nm dot set bool, and the bool is going to be is shot, and set its value to true, and we are going to call this using our right control key. So in here we'll simply say if input dot get key down, and the key code is right control, sorry, and right control, and also the limitation or the restriction on shooting is that the player can only shoot when he is in idle position. So simply say nm dot get bool. So we are simply checking if we are not playing any other animation and only the idle animation. So get bool and is move equals false. So this statement will make sure that the player is not moving, and only then we are going to call the short function. Now because the is short is a boolean, so once set to true it will remain true, so we need to set it to false after shooting. So we will simply say else if, so when we release this right control key, so just copy the whole code and paste it right here, and instead of get key down we will simply say get key up, and so this is showing a compile error, input does not contain a definition for get key up. So the p should be small, and we are going to disable our animation, so set it to false. And also right here where we are checking for the left and right keys D and A, we also want to add another condition which is going to be nm dot get bool and is short. So we don't want to move if we are shooting, so we will simply say if the is short is equals to false. And just copy all this and do that for A also. And also notice that when we are shooting we don't want to move, so let's have a private bool allow moving and set it to true by default. And right here these two lines are responsible for all the movement, so we will simply say if we are allowed to move, only then we will execute this code. And the allow moving is false when we are shooting, so this is going to be false, so player cannot move. And it is going to be true at when we are not shooting, so when we are releasing the right control key, so allow moving is equal to true. So let's save the script, go back to editor, and on the player make sure that each and everything is assigned on our script. So this photon view, so let's drag the photon view and drop it right here. Now save the script, save everything and make sure to hit apply button on our player prefab, and let's delete the prefab and let's test our game. So now I am in the main scene, which is sample scene. Let's say add a name and join a room and spawn our player. Now if I press my right control key, you can see that now our player can shoot and it's playing shooting animation, and while moving we cannot shoot. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in next video.